Netflix and
So
chill
where we left
discussion.
off in
Behind her
episode
eyes.
one,
How far will you
or
go for
my
love?
synopsis of it,
EP 2.
this is Louise. That's Adele. This is the wife, and David is the husband, right? So right now, Louise is fighting her attraction to David. Um, they met in a bar randomly. However, as coincidence would have it, in which we all know that there are no coincidence or no coinkydinks in this world, that's her new boss man. So she now has to what's going on? There's a glare on here, guys. Sorry. I don't know. But what we find out is that she now has hold on. So Louise is now working with David. I'm a little bit distracted by this glare on the screen. I'm trying to can y'all see me? I want to make sure y'all can see me. Anyway, so Louise is now trying to fight her attraction to David, but they working together. They working together every day. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Good morning. She explained to him that when he came in the room, she told him, she was like, I don't want no problems. It's not gonna be no problems. We can act like it never happened. Especially knowing that he was married. So she was letting him know that I'm not gonna tell your wife that you and me almost made out at the bar and you was with me all night the other day. I'm not gonna tell your wife. We just gonna act like it didn't happen. So that's how it went down. But anyway, okay. In the morning, Ian drops off Adam to Louise with a big proposal. Rewind back. My problem. The two eventually start working together as Louise points out a number of different hot spots in the community because he asks her help. Child, every time she was trying to leave the apartment, he was like, wait. She couldn't even get out of there. He didn't want her to go nowhere. I thought he was going to take that thing. Apparently, his specialty is, like when you get like heated and passion. Well, apparently his specialty is dealing with addicts, and as the two casually flirt and dance around what happened between them, we see a vastly contrasting conversation ensue. So he handles people with addiction. That's who he helps. Let me get another picture. Around a table full of psychologists, Adele and David, which is the wife, discusses their marriage and in particular David's big opportunity in this town. Adele puts him on the spot and back home begins kissing him intimately. She want him. She does a lot. And I noticed that before I really, once I read it, I understood why she was pulling on him all the time. But she was always trying to keep him excited, keep him enthralled, keep him passionate, keep him on her. You know what I'm saying? He got on her. He went to town. But it was very cold. It was very cold, honey. She just, you know what I'm saying? He was, anyway. Adele puts him on the spot and back home begins kissing him intimately. She promises that this will be the last time as David tell her he's not able to do this again. Quite what that something is remains a mystery, but for now the two make love, only it's clearly mirrored intention. So we don't know. I don't know because I was trying to figure that out too. During a flashback, we see glimmers of Adele's past. This is Rob and Adele. Rob and Adele are patients at a rehab center as Adele is called the girl who paints fires. Rob is dubbed the boy who sleepwalks. It's a hiccup in what otherwise an episode rooted in the present, with David eventually deciding to hand over Adele's phone. He's going to be doing outreach work for addicts, and that means he'll be away from her longer than he normally is. She calls him a good man and reassures her lover, telling David it won't be a problem. Louise struggles to shake the images of David as the two are nervous around each other at work. That's the chemistry, the sexual chemistry, the energy, when someone excites you. We continue to see glimmers of Louise past too, with a bottle of pills spilling on the floor in that familiar eerie house. A piercing scream from Adam sees Louise awaken suddenly on the balcony after sleepwalking. She collapses over and begins sobbing, sporting a cut wrist for her troubles. So Louise has emotional issues too. In the morning, Ian drops off Adam to Louise with a big proposal. That's
Louise
her
and
ex-husband.
Adam.
His new partner, Lisa, is expecting their child, and they have an offer on a house in the south of France. Ian wants to take Adam with him for the month anyway to allow him to bond time with Lisa, his new wife. Louise is completely against the idea, though, believing herself to be the gracious wife for Ian's new family. Even worse, Ian has already got Adam excited about this. Thanks to Sophie's kind words, Louise eventually comes around to the idea of allowing her to take this time to recharge and find herself, which just may be what she needs to change her life. Lost in her thoughts after dropping Adam off at school, Louise bumps into Adele in the streets. See, it gets weird because these two, the two ladies, are going to become friends. And that's when her best friend, child. But yes, they gonna become friends, honey. They gonna start hanging out, and Louise gonna be hanging out and just turn around this woman, man. Okay, so hold on. Lost in her thoughts after dropping Adam off at school, Louise bumps into Adele in the streets. They properly introduce themselves as Adele invites her out for coffee, the perfect remedy for knocking her down. "You lead, I'll follow," she says as they walk together. The episode review. Dark, creepy, and incredibly mysterious Behind Her Eyes starts off with a really compelling and smartly written episode. Exposition is delivered naturally with some well-crafted dialogue that drip feeds information right way. There's a lot to like in this character-driven ensemble, and there's definitely a few moments that help this stand out. Moments like Louise getting flustered, spilling ketchup down herself, and even getting jealous as Ian helps to make her a relatable and realistically depicted main character. The mystery is smartly written too, as far as at least with the screenplay constantly bringing up questions and evolving the different relationships naturally over time. It seems like Adele may well be David's patient, and things become intimate while now he could be stuck in this toxic relationship. That's what I'm thinking. But that's what it, because she was a patient after she's caught in the fires of past, especially with that girl who paints fire line from the brief flashbacks. How she went from his patient to his wife. In the meantime, though, this episode completely flies by with a tight script and gripping atmosphere. The thin silvers of horror come from Louise's visions, and her sleepwalking seems to mirror Rob's condition from the past, especially with that line about sleepwalking. Because what happens is all three, starts to sleepwalk. Adele is sleepwalking, David is sleepwalking, and Louise is sleepwalking. So everyone is they're sleepwalking and having nightmares. They're experiencing astral projection. We'll have to wait and see how this transpires, of course, but Behind Her Eyes gets off to a very promising start. Now, this came out in 2021. So to anybody, I just found it, okay? So let's see what astral projection is. Astral projection is an out-of-body experience that assumes the existence of a soul or consciousness called an astral body that is separate from the physical body and capable of traveling outside. It's outside it throughout the universe. Now I'm going to put a picture up here. This is what it appears to be. Okay? So like because we are mind, body, and soul. The body is just a physical vessel that carries the soul. So, I know y'all like, Shanice, what the hell you talking about? What I like. So, yeah. Anyway, this is going to be me, filling y'all in and about Behind Her Eyes. And I do every now and then watch something that I be wanting to share. And so, this is only a 6-part series. Each one is 30 minutes long. So
Thanks
I
for
will come
tuning
back to
in.
y'all with the next episode soon, because I want to make sure that I absorb it enough first. Because I'm actually on episode 3, but I was doing a lot of moving around and things. But I really wanted to get y'all up to date what I was doing. So this is where we're at right now, and go check it out on Netflix so we can talk about it. Okay.